Ho ho ho! I'm Master Tofuflower and welcome to my crafting channel, meow! I will keep posting videos, so please subscribe and turn on your notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. This episode is dedicated to Queen Elizabeth II. In this tutorial, I will show you the process of Kintsugi. Kin means gold and tsugi means joint. It is an ancient Japanese technique of repairing broken pottery with gold and urushi. In a world that often prizes new, perfection, and excess, broken items are often discarded. However, some pottery and ceramic items have sentimental value and are not replaceable. The philosophy of Kintsugi is to find beauty in flaws and imperfection. Kintsugi represents healing, resilience, and restoration. It symbolizes the truth that repair requires transformation, that the pristine is less beautiful than the broken. It is especially important in restoring antique. Every crack, dent, and stain are part of the history. They make the item unique and precious. Kintsugi highlights these imperfections rather than hiding them. Thanks to my clumsy servant, we have lots of Kintsugi repaired objects in the Flower's household. My favorite is the handsome white cat statue. This technique has great influence on contemporary art and design. I found evidence that aliens used this technique. For example, this mask from a galaxy far, far away, and the hammer of Space Viking. Meow. As you will see, genuine Kintsugi is very time dependent, and I usually fix expensive, sentimental, and non-replaceable pieces only. This skill is very useful. You will soon find family and friends asking you to do a Kintsugi for them. For this project, you will need gloves and mask for your safety. Furo that we made in lesson 2. Paintbrush, spatula, solvents such as camphor oil, shin yoshino paper, raw urushi such as kijomi or sashime, urushi. We are using neri benkara urushi, black urushi. We are using kuro nakanuri urushi, kin keshi fun, washing up liquid, water, and vegetable oil, yellow tonoko powder, surukazumi, tokusa, lint-free cloth, and optionally you may use sandpaper, and of course your broken ceramic. As always, please wear your gloves and keep the room well ventilated. Be safe, meow! We have this 70 years old Queen Elizabeth II 1953 coronation plate for years. As you can see, there's a big chip on it. I found a part of broken piece, but the rest turned into powder. Meow. Step 1. Thoroughly clean the plate with water and washing up liquid. Let it dry for several days. Arrange the pieces. Make sure you know how they fit together. You may need to label them. Step 2. Seal the unglazed cut surface of the broken pieces. Apply a thin layer of raw urushi on the cut surface. Press it with a lint-free cloth immediately to remove as much urushi as possible. Cure it in a furo at 20 degrees Celsius and 70% humidity for at least 7 days. It will form a thin protective layer on the unglazed surface and prevent the urushi from feathering and bleeding into the glazed part of ceramic. Step 3. Prepare your mugi urushi. Measure by volume, 1 part of raw urushi and 1 part of plain flour. Mix small amount of water into the flour bit by bit to achieve an earlobe consistency. Then, fold the urushi slowly into the mixture. The mugi urushi should be sticky and should form several centimeters of strings when you stretched it. A little fun fact for you. The world's longest cheese pool is 41.5 inches. Maybe we can do one for the mugi urushi. Meow. Step 4. Apply a thin layer of mugi urushi on the cut surface of the broken pieces. We are applying using an old brush. Some people use a cocktail or bamboo stick. Like the contact cement, leave the urushi at room temperature and humidity for an hour until the urushi is partially cured. As you can see, even a tiny amount of partially cured urushi is strong enough to hold the ceramic together. Step 5. Align the pieces and stick them together. The urushi may ooze out. Some crafters scrape away or wipe off the excess immediately. I like to do it after curing to avoid smear. You can fix the pieces temporarily together with tape. Cure the urushi in a furo at 80% humidity for 1 month. Step 6. Remove the tape and scrape away the excess urushi carefully with a chisel. Step 7. Fill the gap and the defect of the missing pieces with sabi urushi. Prepare the sabi urushi by mixing tonoko powder, water, and raw urushi. You can see the details in tutorial 3. Here, I've put a piece of tape at the bottom side of the cavity. The tape forms the base of the cavity that can be filled with sabi urushi. I like to repair the defect in multiple applications because it is easier to shape and cure. You can shape the cured sabi urushi with sandpaper between applications. Be very careful so you don't damage the glaze. For the top sabi urushi layer, I like to apply it with a paintbrush because it allows better control. Cure the sabi urushi after each application in a furo at 80% humidity for 1 week. Tokusa is also called Equisetum hyemale or rough horsetail. The rough stems were boiled and dried. It is used as a traditional polishing material. Step 8. Sand the sabi urushi to smooth. Most Kintsugi crafters use tokusa and tsurugazumi because they are less likely to damage the glaze during sanding. Simply cut the tokusa into shape and soak them in water for 5 minutes before use. Use the outer surface of the stem to sand. Wash the plate with water and dry it. Step 9. Seal the sabi urushi with raw urushi. Remove the excess urushi by pressing a lint-free cloth on the surface. Cure it in a furo at 80% humidity for 5 days. Step 10. Filter the black urushi. We are using the Kuro Nakanori here, with 4 layers of Shin Yoshino paper. Paint a coat of black urushi on the defect. Cure it in a furo at 80% humidity for 5 days. Step 11. Lightly sand the surface with tsurugazumi. Repeat step 10 for the second black coat. Step 12. For the top layer, filter the e urushi with 4 layers of Shin Yoshino paper. Most crafters use Neri Benkara urushi. Carefully paint it onto the defect. The layer should be even and free from dust or any defect. Partially cure it in a furo at 70% humidity. If you apply gold powder too early, the urushi layer may become uneven or smear during the application of gold powder. That would be a mess. If you apply the gold too late, it will not adhere to the e urushi. There are many ways of checking the state of the urushi. My servant paints the excess urushi on a card and checks the card every 10 to 15 minutes by touching it with his paw. It should not color the paw or smear when touched while being sticky. The window to apply the gold powder is narrow. You might need to experiment on it. Also, you can apply the gold powder on the card to test the urushi. Step 13. Apply the gold powder. Load generous amount of gold powder on the silk wool. Tap the silk on the ceramic to unload the gold on the unpainted part. Sweep the gold powder onto the partially cured urushi with the wool. The wool has no direct contact with the urushi. Rest it for 5 minutes. Step 14. Rub the gold with the silk wool in one direction to polish the gold to gloss. Do not use any pressure when polishing. It should have a brushed gold appearance. Cure it in a full-on at 80% humidity for at least 7 days. Step 15. Last step. Seal the gold powder by applying a thin layer of kijomi urushi. Filter the raw urushi with 4 layers of shin yashina paper. Thin the urushi with equal amount of thinner. Apply the urushi on the gold area. Press it with a lint-free cloth immediately to remove the excess. Change to a clean part of the cloth and press it again. Do it multiple times until you cannot see the brown color of urushi on the cloth. Cure it in a full at 70% humidity for 14 days. Your Kintsugi plate is ready. If you're doing Kintsugi on a decorative object, you only need to seal it once. If it is on an object for light use, such as a plate, you will need to repeat this step 2 to 4 times for a better seal. Our deepest condolences to our beloved Queen Elizabeth II. Her wonderful and gentle soul will always remain in our hearts. Thank you, ma'am, for everything. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it to your friends. To celebrate Christmas and New Year, we are giving away this beautiful festive urushi fountain pen. This pen is embellished with a genuine blue topaz. To participate in this giveaway, please go to our Instagram page for more details. I've put our Instagram link at the description box down below. Please go check it out. Next time, we will talk about makiji, which is one of the standard priming methods. See you, meow!